Hi everyone, it's me again. So I hope that everybody is doing okay. I always pray that everything is going okay, especially without specifying, of course, too much for the American sisters and brothers that are currently in a very difficult situation. I pray for you every day. You are in my heart, and I know that this world is evil, but all will be good. Keep your faith and be strong, okay? And sorry for the dog in the background if you hear it. The second thing is an update about my situation. So I read some things here because I had to translate from Italian to English without doxing myself, or rather my friend that is keeping me here under a rent. And as you can see from my eyes, that which might look a little bit red, I apologize for that. It's being very, very difficult. My faith is never touched by this, but I am still baffled by the situation that I'm living through, and I wanted to explain to you why I've been relying on the channel and what is completely going on. I will probably post something as well when I can. So apologize if I will read something. It's just to double check some facts and stuff. And you're always welcome to send me emails, which the few emails that I received recently were very sweet, and I thank you for the patience and the help that you've been giving me is essential, especially to be able to stay in this room. So we all know that Europe is famous for the public service that generally they're able to give to people in need, right? For example, I can think about the UK, which when I was in the UK for 6 months, they helped me more than I was ever helped in my entire life here in Italy. Why? Well, the situation about Italy right now is that, without going too much in politics, the senator is basically helping with laws people that already have a lot of money or have companies or are women with children. And just like it's kind of happening in Japan, the single women and single people are being judged or even taxed. I don't know if in Japan this law actually went through, but I was noticing and reading from a follower that comes from Japan that it was specifying this thing. But basically sanctioning people from the fact of being single or being unable to make children to incentivize making a family. I do believe in family 100%, but at the same time I do believe in supporting your child with responsibility. Forcing people, especially in a very difficult and fragile situation, to have children just to be able to be helped with benefits or discounts or stuff like that, will put the child at risk more than the adult themselves. At least this is my opinion. and everything I say is absolutely Christian. Like, I do not understand who is able to have a family to not do so. I don't judge them, of course, but I still don't understand, you know? If you are okay with money, if you are okay with your life and you have a beautiful partner, I think that a child is a blessing. But you have to be, as a single person, you have to understand that children are sacred. And in Italy now, because of this situation, many people are being forced to have children without the economical, physical, and working requirements needed to grow children, which is leading to children being abandoned or being used just for the sake of benefits. So this is the situation that I'm going through as well. As I said, I believe in the family, but I also believe in responsibility, because I was a trafficked victim since I was a very young girl, and the person that put me in the streets was my own father. Then it became my brother. Family is important as long as there is responsibility and good faith, especially towards the Lord, who teaches us to be good. And so I will go to what's going on now in my situation and why this is completely absurd. My psychiatrist, so we have a public sanitary system, a service for like kind of like I would say NHS, right, in the UK. So what means is that some people, especially with fragilities, are able to access medical help of different kinds without necessarily paying or with discounts. So in this case, Italy is forcing privatization, kind of like, you know, insurances in America and stuff like that. But people just can't handle it because it's just going too fast. There's no jobs, and there's too much to pay. The housing is insane, and therefore people are just unable, you know, to pay privately. And that is why myself, but also not only me, also families with kids are struggling to give to their own kids actual dental care, you know, medical care, because they cannot afford to go to a private doctor or a private specialist. But now the public, the public healthcare is so slow right now in Italy. We have to wait for months or even years to get checked out for the basic things, or even for bad things like cancer. So in this moment, in these days, months, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue, complex PTSD, untreated because of the lack of medication and the lack of care, and hypothyroidism, which I cannot afford medication for. So I'm literally just going with vitamins, trying to survive, while paying a rent just through this channel. Because, and I will tell you why. As I was stating before, there's the CPS, which means basically in Italian, Center of Psychiatric, basically system, I would say. Because in Italy, only unless you go on private, of course. The hospitals don't have enough psychiatrists to schedule appointments in the hospitals. So these centers were created ages ago, honestly, like before I was born, called the GPS, so psychiatric centers. They are distributed in different zones of the city, depending on where you live, basically, or where you have your residency, to being able to being assisted with psychiatric, psychological, financial support, and even in some occasion work under the protection of any disability or any fragility that you suffer from. So, unlike the UK, Italy does not recognize PTSD much or at all. So it's generally diagnosed as generic personality disorder. So in these years, because of my evaluation and the problems that I've been facing, so homelessness, escaping from my brother and all that, I went into different associations. So first is CADME, which is one of the biggest associations against violence towards women. But because my brother is associated to a criminal organization that I will not mention for my own safety, just in case, the center actually refused me and said that they couldn't risk their women to be possibly targeted. But many women escape from criminality, meaning that their husband was doing stuff and all that. It's very common in Italy to dealing with mafia. Hopefully I'm not gonna get banned for this. It's just normal and common. So I said to them the same thing, and they said to me, "We're sorry, but actually," after a few months, they said, "Actually, we talked to your psychiatric center, and they said that because you have a disorder that we don't know of, we don't trust you." So I said, okay. PTSD is one of the many reasons, if not the main reason, for a woman that has been abused to feel the way she feels. But apparently, the evaluation was not acceptable, and also they pointed out that I didn't have a job, and therefore I wouldn't be able to pay my staying in the shelter. And I, of course, said, well, if you give me some time, I will actually find a way to pay the 20 euros per month. And they still refused. Anyway, everything that needs to be documented, if you need any documentation, please email me and I will provide with the proof. I just don't like to do it randomly online. It's already something that I'm talking, because I've been struggling to do videos for these reasons. This is not about my faith. This is actually me being treated as less than a human being because it's not over. So, as I am reading from here that I wrote myself, my psychiatrist refused to see me since almost a year. My previous psychiatrist was replaced because she went in pension. And I had medications under her. Here in Italy, we have basically a family doctor, a generic practitioner, like a GP, but just one person. So compared to the GP, the Italian practitioners and doctors, so family doctors, they're called here, are unable to give specific medications if they don't have a specialist giving them, the proof that that person needs specific medications. So my family doctor said to me that, I just needed the documentation, that's all. So I went, you don't know how many times I went to that psychiatric center that I cannot change because my residency is associated to that center, So unless I somehow change residency, the zone cannot be changed, So I have to go to that specific one every time. So after a new doctor was assigned to me, I never saw her for a year, despite going there, trying to have an appointment, first appointment, calling every month, costly, just asking for one first visit. Just one visit. Because also I have to renew my disability based on the fact that now I have issues with my thyroid, and my PTSD has greatly became worse. My chronic fatigue is often leaving me bedridden, and therefore I need help to be able to continue my life and find a proper job that is suitable for me, or continue making content just in case I'm able to make YouTube my revenue. Not because I got an email about that. I don't care about money in the materialistic sense. For example, this microphone was gently given to me by another friend, not the friend that is giving me hospitality and a very low rent, but another friend that I know, that she's a voice actress, and she just needed to change this, to a new one that I don't know. So she gifted it for free. And to me it was incredible. So to keep going, basically, it is not about materialism, but survival. About, searching for a community that helps me. And this goes to my next point, Caritas. You might know Caritas, I'm not sure, but Caritas is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, charity for people in need. They provide food, clothing, medication, just like Onlus. I went to my church, which is associated to Caritas. They give food packages, they give sometimes money for medication, anything essential, just the bare minimum to keep going. And all of a sudden, they call me, and I do have also the screenshots, but they are in Italian, so I have to translate them. And as I said, everything is documented. And they said to me that I wasn't praying enough, because I also made content on YouTube by literally reading and making stories out of the Bible, inspired by the Bible, and reading the Bible. They saw my channel and said that was inappropriate, and therefore they would deny me food and basic money. And I'm talking about 20 euros every 3 weeks. I do not hate them at all. I understand what they're doing, but this leads people to despair. So this is how I feel, despaired. In all this, I went to another charity called San Fedele. They give medication and sometimes psychological support for women that are struggling to talk with a therapist or having any kind of help, especially in this time where women that are alone are being completely left after the new laws of the government that we have currently. So I went there and I talked about the psychiatric center and the fact that no matter how many times I will go there, they will bring up things that happened when I was 20 years old and under abuse. So basically they were saying to me, you were coming here with panic attacks and you were crying and never leave, and we don't accept that behavior. And I said to them, I'm 34 years old now, and if you would just talk to me about the fact that you don't want me to say certain things or do certain things in a psychiatric center, just tell me. I don't understand why now you don't want to see me, especially because by law I've been assigned with a psychiatrist. So it is illegal to deny me, because you just don't like me, sorry. That it is not sensical to me at all. So this is going still. And the other day, I went to the point of staying in the psychiatric center for 7 hours, literally. I went there when they were still just opened. I sit there and I said, until I have the first appointment with my psychiatrist, I will not leave this place. And I ended up feeling sick to the point that the nurse that was there actually came to me and said, you cannot stay here in these conditions. Like, you need help, you need to rest because something is going on with you. And I told the nurse exactly what I have, aside from, complex PTSD, actual physical issues that I need help with. But I cannot renew my disability without the psychiatrist. After all these hours, the psychiatrist came out and said to me, I don't have time, I need to go home. And she just left. So I will retry again after I've recovered a bit, because I'm struggling with food, medication. Everything is a mess because I'm completely untreated. Everything that I just mentioned is now without any medication aside from ginger for nausea, as less as possible, vitamins, anything to just try to keep going without actually losing my life. Because this is what's happening. And I arrived from, now I can't describe the difference between American weight and Italian, Europe, but I went from 62 kilograms to literally 45 kilograms. And if I arrive to 40 or 39, I will have to ask to a hospital, and I have the right to be hospitalized until I at least arrive to 45 kilograms again. So it's not over, because you might ask, well, where's the social services? What's going on with anything else that you can try to arrive to? Well, the only thing that is actually helping me right now is Onlus. They are providing sometimes with food and sometimes with medication, depending on the voluntaries that are donating those medications. So my doctor said it's very unsafe, because you can't just take the medication for 1 month and then just stop immediately. It's just like you're just gonna destroy your body. But still, they're trying to do what they can, because Onlus right now is the only association that is active on trying to do something. And this is where my psychologist from San Fedele, so from the place where the charity gives medication to people, that comes to comes to the situation and says this is unacceptable. The psychiatric center should take you by law and help you out with a disability so that you can get access to your medication for free. So the social assistant, a very lovely lady that works with the psychologist there, both of them are voluntaries, by the way. They work as, their jobs, but they voluntary in the charity to help out people like me that can't afford anything. And they called repeatedly, emailed, even made themselves present in the psychiatric center, and they were ignored or denied access. And again, everything is documented. So it got to the point where I didn't know what to do, because when the social assistant called my social assistant that was assigned to me, she replied, "I'm sorry, we don't have funds for her. She has to find a job and find a way. It's all we can do." So at this point, the psychologist from San Fedele, so the same one, actually had to dig up some names that she remembers, some colleagues that she remembers from anti-dependency center. And I have no dependency, especially because, thank God, thank the Lord, I've stopped drinking despite the situation, and I don't have any current dependency at all since months now. So she had to call that lady and say to her, "I have a girl that is not dependent on anything, but needs help for medications for at least her PTSD." And the lady listened to the entire situation that was going on, contacted me and said, "This is outrageous." So they will actually try to take action with the psychiatric center to try to move them to do their jobs. But at the same time, they're like, "We're trying to actually make it work for you, to give you the medication that you need. But how can we do that? Because the clinical records is in the hands of the psychiatric center. We don't have it. And you're not a dependent person. That's the problem. You don't have any dependency. Accept you to give you the medication that you need by faking that you have a dependency, just to make the public work." And I was just going like, I'm just trying to leave. Whatever works. I don't want to do anything illegal, but if you guys can do something, at least you can help me out. So now the lady is being very nice to me, and she's trying her best to talk to her boss about my situation and saying, "We have a patient that is not actually a patient, but she needs help because the CBS, the psychiatric center, is completely ignoring her. The Anti-Violence Association refused her because of the background of the brother." And, by the way, a little thing, if some people would say, why didn't you go to the police for, there are programs to keep yourself safe from specific criminal acts and criminal organizations, right? Anti-M word, mafia, whatever. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. My brother lives exactly in front of the police station. He literally put himself there and pays cops. So I don't know who to trust. That is the whole truth. And my brother's surname is actually on the internet. That's how famous he is. And by the way, I'm mixed, but he's my half brother, so he's fully Italian, by the way, just in case, because people in those criminal organizations are very traditionalist, so he's not mixed, he's an Italian man. So, basically, I'm in a loop. The entire public system has left me completely unattended. I have to apparently find weird and shady ways through associations that they're not even supposed to take me in, through connection. I had to cut the video because my phone died. So to end this, basically, I am in a loop because I'm being handled with the entire public system that is supposed to help me out in a bureaucratic way, completely failing, completely. I've been actually hurt more by the church, honestly, because as brothers and sisters we should help each other in times of need instead of having ideas of somebody based on what they try to do to spread God's word, and at the same time trying to build a community that actually supports them, and not only monetarily but also mentally. I had so many emails about people praying for me, and I was so grateful that I'm not forgotten, because this country forgot me. As a person that was trafficked, as a person that tried her best to stay legal, now I am over here desperately trying to find money for rent over my friend to help her out because she cannot do everything on her own, and just keep me here for free. And that is why she's not giving me money or medication or food. I have to go and take food on my own, not because she's evil, but because she's trying desperately to feed her own children, So we're literally helping each other as women as much as possible. And, yeah, my phone is dying again, sorry. I haven't lost faith. I know that God is with me. I know that God is with me. The Lord is with all of us. If we keep Him on our hearts, inside our hearts, I believe it. I believe the Lord will make everything happen. But that is why I'm so insistent. I would say not really, but I'm so adamant about asking help to the community, not only as a content creator, but as a woman that is being forgotten by her own country. There is nothing left that I can do aside from keep trying, keep protesting, in the psychiatric center, keep trying to find ways and ways to find a job that is not killing me, because I still don't have my disability renewed because of one person that just doesn't want to see me because she doesn't like me. And that was literally the explanation given to me. We didn't like how much you were panicking at 20 years old, and now we're repaying you at 34 years old. Even though I'm way calmer, and I was finally able to escape from my brother. So I do feel like they're also, attacking me for having been in pain during a moment of serious violence going on in my life. I wanted to address why I'm being silent, because I'm literally trying to stay alive and have enough money to just continue paying my friend, going outside and get food, or go to food banks and eat something as much as I possibly can, because I do have an actual diet that I should follow, but I can't. And, I know that this word is testing me. I know that this is a test, and I will survive it. I will continue to pray the Lord every day, and I changed church, by the way, and I went to a new church which is way more gentle, and I'm being helped, especially when I can't kneel in front, of Jesus. I can't kneel sometimes. That's how bad I feel sometimes, physically. And so I've been helped by people coming to me and giving me help to just kneel in front of the Lord. So I'm very grateful for that. But that church is not associated to Caritas, so they cannot help. But to me, it's already amazing that I found a place to at least pray in peace, where I will not be judged. The father is following me. I'm so happy because he comes from Zimbabwe, and he really enjoys my content, and he does think that people that are speaking about these problems and about the Lord and like making stories based on the Bibles is beautiful. Art through the Lord is beautiful, and I do believe that too. I do believe that even every other content creator that is doing Christian ASMR is doing good. Every one of them, from the cheapest one, which is probably me, to very high-end people that have very good tech. They are expressing the love of God into technology, which is by far, until now, is often used for bad things. This is beautiful, and this is a way for us, brothers and sisters, to unite from all over the world. So, I'm doing my best to continue living here. I cannot leave the country as for now. And with the support of you as a community, you're helping me to literally try to stay alive for as long as possible until one day, and it will happen because I believe in the Lord, I will finally succeed in this challenge, in this test. And I will not lose faith. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in everything that He had to go through for us, that He decided to go through to us and for us. And I apologize for my English right now. I'm a bit emotional, but I think that you understand what I'm trying to say. My hair is sorry, it's a bit raw. And last thing, please continue to share my GoFundMe. Share this video or do whatever that you want to do to help me reach a goal that I had to unfortunately upgrade a little bit more, not much. I didn't add 1K or anything. Just because of this absolute insane situation. No psychiatrist, no possibility of medical care. My doctor is stuck because it doesn't have new documentation to give him the right medications. Social services are saying, sorry, we don't have money. The Center of Violence Against Women, fighting against violence towards women, refused me, and I decided to not go to the police for my own safety, knowing the network that my brother goes around, the circle, and that is why I'm staying away. And I don't know who's bought and who's not. And literally only ONLUS and only the food banks are helping me right now. But for the rest, if I even want to stay connected, I need your help. If I want a more specific food or vitamins, I need your help. I literally have to depend on this community because it's the only people I have left. Of course, there's my friend, but she's already doing way more than she could possibly do more. She cannot do more. So she's like, I even feel bad to the fact that I can't give you food. And I'm like, don't. You're already struggling with poverty. You need to feed your children. They're kids. And I'd rather go to the food bank with, my can. I do use a can when I stand up. Rather than, taken away from children. That is evil, and I won't do that. It's not about dignity, it's about being human. And last, if you arrived until this, I'm sorry, I will try to finish. I really apologize for my slow pace. I'm doing my best. It's like 40 degrees outside, which to me is... I wanted to say thank you for believing in me. Thank you for keeping faith towards me, even coming to me to reach for help, to reach for, comfort, to reach for a prayer for me, from me, And I'm not a prophet. I am not a preacher. And I absolutely am not anybody aside from a sister. But I am extremely humbled that people come to me despite my situation because they see my faith, which is unyielding. I will not stop until my body gives up. That is the will of the Lord, and I will follow it until the end, until this will be resolved one way or another. And I believe in good, because this world is evil, but the Lord is good. Praying and pray is essential for us. And I thank you so much for your support. And I am enduring, even if sometimes I feel so weak, I feel like I'm expiring. But I am enduring, and I will endure. In the name of the Lord, I will endure. This is an injustice from this world. Because what happens in this world is from the word of men, humanity, not from God. God is good. That is why I have faith, because God is good, the Lord is good, Jesus Christ is good. He died for us. He gave us a chance. And despite the pain and the cruelty of this world, we are still here. We don't forget. And that is why I believe 100% that everything will be resolved. At the same time, I have to be unfortunately realistic. And I live in a society that forgot me. And all I have left is you, my friends. Is you. And as long as my body goes on, I am grateful for every email, for every comment that comes to me, for every donation, for everything that tells me you are not dead to us. And this feels so much, it's so much for me. I'm not gonna cry. I already cried before this video because I felt a little bit emotional, but I'm okay. So I am not waiting. I will be as regular as I can possibly be, and I stand by my point of continuing to spread stories about the Bible, about the Lord, and spreading the word of the Lord, exactly because of my life going on right now. This is exactly why I'm doing this, to let you see that even a person like me that was forgotten by society, completely gaslit, humiliated and judged, wrongly accused with no evidence, nothing that instead I have proof, recordings, videos, everything that can even be brought to a court. And I'm just not doing that because I have no money, that's all. To sue an entire, center, that's insanity for me right now. I believe, and I think that, I know I'm all over the place, but I think you get my point. the Lord. I have the Lord. Because without him, I think that my body would have given up way, way sooner to sickness. Thank the Lord. Amen. Amen. So, thank you for the patience. Thank you for listening up until now. I will make maybe a short just to kind of give an idea of what's going on in this video. And thank you for supporting my journey. And if actually you are Italian and you stumble upon this video and you want to reach out to help me, call the psychiatric center. Please reach out. At this point, everybody that sends emails, stuff and all about that will not dox me, because it's not in my a bit like I don't live in the psychiatric center. But everybody that wants to help me fight against this injustice is free to do so. I don't mind providing the exact psychiatric center that is doing this to me, so that we can all fight together. If not, I will still continue to fight. And lastly, thank you for your donations, and please consider to continue to support me through Ko-fi or GoFundMe, so that I can help out. The last donation was able, and I thank you again, I will not say your name in case you don't want me to be mentioned, for the donation they gave me the possibility to pay my friend. But the rent is about to arrive again. So, of course my friend is not saying to me, pay me now, but I don't want to arrive like a month later, basically. So, consider helping me out, even in small amounts, or even in sharing, so that I can pay my friend's help, which is 200 euros per month, and continue to literally maintain myself through this absolute insanity that is going on, until I will be actually helped like I'm supposed to. So, I'm done. May God bless you all. I love you guys. I love you. And I will see you soon. From the bottom of my heart, I pray for your safety, especially because I did see that many of my followers come from America. Please stay safe. And I'm with you. Okay? Everything will be okay. And just please stay safe as much as you can. This world is full of wicked things and people and stuff. Do not give up hope. I'm with you 100%, and I will pray for you. Please comment below if you want, and if you want to, and I'm way happy, way more than happy to pray for you. For every comment I will pray. Maybe offline, maybe on the comment, but if you need support, please reach out. I will always help my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. Always. And yeah, so this is all. And I'll see you soon. And despite the background noise, I hope that you like this microphone. I still need to understand how to use it, but hopefully, it will be a little bit better than the mess than before. So, thank you again.